Failure. How this one word terrifies us, doesn't it? We see it as the end of the road, a closed door, a final ending. But what if I told you that failure isn't the end? What if it's the first step of a new beginning? Today we will hear the story of such a young man, a story of a young inventor who used every single one of his failures as a stepping stone. This story is for anyone who has stumbled so many times that they've lost the courage to get back up. In a small town, there lived a young inventor named Kai. His mind was a universe of countless new ideas. He dreamed of creating a machine that would make people's lives easier. His goal was to build an automatic irrigation device that would end the hardships of the farmers in his village. He worked day and night in his small workshop, but his path was not an easy one. Every time he thought his machine would finally work, something would go wrong at the last moment. Sometimes the gears wouldn't align, sometimes a pipe would burst, and sometimes the entire machine would just break down. With each failure, the pile of broken parts in the corner of his workshop grew larger. And as he stared at that pile, a piece of his own heart seemed to break with it. The townspeople would laugh at him. They called him the mad inventor. These words would reach Kai's ears, and every time he would think that maybe they were right. Maybe he truly was a failure. His confidence slowly dwindled, hitting rock bottom. One night, after another devastating failure, Kai was sitting on the floor of his workshop. He was surrounded by the symbols of his failures: broken gears, bent pipes, useless parts. Tears welled up in his eyes. He thought to himself, "I can't do this anymore. This is the end." Just as he was ready to throw everything away, his eyes fell upon a large, broken gear. As he stared at it, a strange idea sparked in his mind. He thought, "These broken parts, they are symbols of my failures, but they are also very strong. I can build something with them." He picked up the broken gear and fixed it to the wall of his workshop, just like a step on a ladder. From that day on, Kai's routine changed. Every time one of his inventions failed, he didn't sit in despair. He would calmly take apart the broken machine, and with the strongest of its parts, he would add a new step to the ladder on his wall. The pile of junk in one corner of his workshop began to shrink, while on the other side, a strange and unique ladder began to climb up the wall. His ladder of failures. The townspeople saw this and laughed even harder. They said, "The boy has truly gone mad. Now he's building a staircase out of scrap metal." Kai paid no attention to their words. He continued his work. With every new step he added, he would reflect on his mistakes. The first step taught him about gear ratios. The second step taught him about the pressure tolerance of pipes. The third step taught him about the correct use of electricity. Every failure, every broken part, was teaching him something new. Each step of his ladder was a milestone of his knowledge. Finally, one day, the ladder reached the ceiling of his workshop. Kai climbed it. As he opened the small door on the roof and looked outside, he saw an incredible view. From the roof of his workshop, he could see the entire town and the green fields of crops surrounding it. He saw how the water flowed from the river, how the wind blew, how the farmers struggled to water their fields. From that height, for the first time, he saw the whole problem from a completely new perspective. And in that very moment, the solution to all his mistakes came to him at once. He understood where the design of his machine was flawed. He saw how he could use the power of nature itself to run his device. Kai quickly climbed down the ladder and got to work with renewed vigor. This time, he didn't just have machine parts in his hands. He had the invaluable knowledge gained from each of his failures. A few weeks later, Kai built his final machine. It was perfect. He installed it in the village fields, and it began to draw water from the river using the power of the sun and wind, and sprinkle it across the crops. The same townspeople who had once called him mad were now singing his praises. Kai hadn't just invented a machine. He had discovered the true power of failure. My friends, this story teaches us that failure is not a wall, it is a ladder. When life knocks you down, do not despair. Pick up the broken pieces and use them to build your own steps to climb higher. Every mistake, every hardship, every failure is teaching you something that no book ever can. Honor those lessons. Keep climbing your ladder of failures, because the view from the top is completely different. What was the biggest failure in your life that taught you the most important lesson? Share your story with us in the comments below, because your story of failure might just give someone else the courage to build their first step, to reshape your mindset with more life-changing stories like this. Subscribe to our channel, Mindset Canvas, and join us on this journey. Thank you for watching.